Hello everyone, welcome back to the cottage. I'm Cheyenne with Rosevine Cottage Girls, and today we're going to be processing our beef fat from a sweet friend into tallow. So let's get started. I'm going to walk you through how we're going to do this so you can do it at your own home. Alright, so our sweet friend Joy sent us home with a bunch of beef fat. So we're going to get to work processing this. You're going to want to cut any funky spots, any blood vessels or blood out of your fat. And then just cut it down to a manageable size chunk. You can run this through your food processor if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and stir this straight in my pan. It's way easier to cut cold, so if you are bringing home fresh fat, make sure you stick it in the fridge for a couple hours to overnight. Overnight is our preference. And just get it into small bits. If you watched our rendering lard video, this process is going to be very similar. Joy already cleaned this for us, so we don't have a lot of work to do on it. Just get it into smaller pieces. But if you're doing this from scratch, you're going to want to remove any skin, or sometimes we'll have this like sinewy piece. You're going to want to cut that back. But definitely working with cold fat is much easier than trying to deal with the mush of warm fat. Get out of here. And we're just going to cut this into bits. And then when we've got our pan full, we're going to be doing quite a bit, so we're going to have to do this in batches, but when we get our pan full, we're going to put it into an oven at a really low setting. And then slowly let this render down.
So in order to do this, you're going to need a cutting board, a knife that's been sharpened, some canning jars with lids to put the rendered fat in, and an oven that works.
You can also do it in like a roaster pan or a crock pot, but I like doing it in the oven the best. And our crock pot is funny and it cooks really fast, and the heat is just unpredictable, and I don't want to ruin it, so we're going for the oven. I also can do bigger batches in roaster pans in my oven than I could in a crock pot. And once this is all rendered down, we're going to strain it through a coffee filter or a stainless steel filter, a piece of cheesecloth. Anything really will work. You just want to get any solid bits that haven't been rendered out so that it doesn't cause it to spoil once it's in the jar. Again, you can run this through the food processor to make it into smaller bits, or a meat grinder if you want to. If you don't have that, that's fine. You don't need to necessarily do that. It just is going to make the process go a little bit faster. And tallow you can use for cooking, you can use it to make skincare. It is a really great oil once you get it rendered. Alright, so we have two pans here. We're going to slip this into our oven. You want the lowest temperature your oven will go to, preferably in the 130, 140 range. Ours only goes to 170. The lower you can get it, the better the flavor and the coloring and all that. So as low as you can get it. And we're just going to pop these in the oven and let them begin to render down. And then once we have a good amount of oil, we'll start spooning it off into our jars. And that's it. This is basically how we do our lard also, and it's super simple. You can absolutely do this with very little supplies. And then you're ready to use it for whatever you want to use it for. So let's pop these in the oven. I'm going to go do some work in the yard while the rain has stopped, and then we'll come back and start spooning this off. Alright, you're going to want to do this when you've got a lot of time, because this can take up to 8 to 12 hours to render down. But we've got a stainless steel metal filter and a funnel, and I'm just going to run the fat through that into our nice jar. Canning jars work great for this. And you can double filter this if you feel like it's necessary. I'm just going to let it filter through and fill up our jar, and then put a lid on it and a cap, and the heat usually seals it. If you really want to, you can can it or whatever, but we've never had that problem with it. It usually just is fine. The biggest part is getting it rendered down so that any water or moisture in your fat evaporates. You want to go nice and slow with low heat, and it's going to preserve the quality of your finished product. How we render our tallow down. It takes quite a while to do, but it's not something that's really hard. You can definitely do it if you've never rendered any of your own animal fats down. This is super easy. It's basically the same process for lard. It's just a different fat. We like to store ours in glass jars. We go for quarts. You can use whatever size you want. Just cap it with a lid on it. And we store ours in our pantry. You can store yours in the fridge or wherever you're most comfortable with it. We like to label ours and date them just so we can use the newest stuff last and the oldest stuff first. So we are constantly cycling through our pantry, and that's it. You can use it for cooking. You can use it for skincare. Really anything under the sun. We're going to try some fun projects with it, and we'll try to make sure that we bring you back for that. But until next time, we'll see you. Have a good day.